All right, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Beauty and the Beers, everybody. My name is Al. I'm going to be the one walking you through everything today. I'm going to be the guy giving you the tour guide through this beautiful podcast today. We're going to knock it out real nice and sweet. But not only me, not only I can't do it alone. No. I don't have that strength. I don't have those capabilities. I am not by myself. In fact, I have two beautiful co-hosts. I have the wonderful Scott and the wonderful Keanna. How are you two doing today?
Tired.
I'm actually.
We ain't that tired. We here.
I'm awake.
We're up.
I'm actually awake.
We're up.
I was up at 7 o'clock
We're
this
up.
morning.
We're
Not
up.
me.
You got your coffee. Start drinking that
I saw
motherfucker.
your
We
damn
up.
Snapchat at 6 or whatever time it was that you woke up.
I got up around 7 this morning.
Man, he been up
No.
since 2.
Yeah.
Man.
Wild.
Came in here
Wild.
hooking this
Man.
shit up.
I woke up at 8 o'clock.
Busting ass. That's what we was talking about in the last episode. Tech man putting in that tech work. We like that. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. If you like what you see here today, make sure that you first like the video. Make sure that you go ahead and comment down below what your favorite part of the video was so that we know what you like the most. But while you're doing all that, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because if you do like all of what you see here today, we want you to come back. And if you do that, if you subscribe, you hit that bell, you know when the next episode's uploaded, you don't miss a single thing. Trust me, we got some more stuff coming here soon, especially with how we got everything set up, and you're not going to want to miss it. I promise you that. But with that being said, we are here. We are live. We are awake. We are energized. We got it. We're here. How y'all like? I need something here, man. I don't know, man. Like, fuck, I'm happy. I'm like halfway through this bitch, but I've already been awake. I'm ready to move, man. I might actually go get on that field with the Vikings today. I might just do that my damn self. Go catch a ball. Who knows?
I ain't doing all that.
Who knows?
No, not all that.
I might just.
I
might just. Like,
I am genuinely getting more and more excited about Vikings games every episode, or
I'm
every
so
game
proud of
that
you.
comes up.
Every Sunday.
I almost said episode, but every
Sunday.
every game that comes up, I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo, you coming to watch the game tomorrow? Like,
I'm
what are
so
we doing?
proud
Yeah,
of you.
absolutely.
It took long enough.
It's gotten to
Man.
the point where Brittany's like, who the fuck did I marry?
Right.
'Cause she's like, hearing you talk about football outside of regular, just like hanging out with Al, weirds me out
Yeah.
sometimes. She's
Yeah.
like, that's not my husband.
No, she definitely did bring up the fact that, like, you were talking to her about football while she was on the phone, and then she like tuned in to the fact that you were actually talking about football and was like, wait a minute, wait, you've got to let me know when you're doing this shit, because like I'm not ready. I'm not mentally prepared for it anymore. But I mean, like, we are in the midst of football season. We talk about it almost every week now. But not only are our Vikings playing today, but the Texas Longhorns, I was calling the Texans. That's who we're playing today.
Yeah.
But the Texas Longhorns actually had a pretty solid ass win last night. What was the score of that?
51-3.
That's a crazy score. That's a crazy stat line. Any like crazy players stand out for that game? Did your
4-0.
quarterback go crazy?
Well, Manning,
or?
of course, got 2 touchdowns.
Hell yeah. Did
No
he throw
fucking
any?
surprise there.
Were they run-ins or were they like passes? What were they?
I don't know, honestly. I didn't look.
I'm about to
we was
say.
too busy playing board games last
I was about to
night.
say we were playing
I
a
know.
lot of board
We'll
games.
talk about it in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm about to say. I mean, either way, a win's a win. The way that they won, though, it was like
Yeah.
50. You said what was it? 53 to
51-3.
51-3. That's
51-3 against
That's
LA
a-
Monroe.
You did tell me whenever this
4-0
first started.
number 1, baby.
Man.
You did tell me whenever this first started, whenever I first started watching football, that I ain't gonna see as crazy of scoring
Yeah.
in NFL that I would have seen in college.
Yes, college football
Yeah.
tends to
It's
get
crazy.
pretty crazy because it's like there'll be teams that like may look good on paper for their divisions, and then they go up against an actual ranked team who has a record just as good as theirs, and it's like these players are on a different level though. Like that team last night, like she brought up the team they were playing against, and she was like, they're undefeated, and I was like, who is it? And then she said the team name, I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. They about to get washed. And sure enough, 51 to 3.
Our first one against Colorado State was 52.
I'm sorry, y'all, if I keep moving this. It
52
keeps
to
trying to
0.
fall in my lap, and I'm trying not to get head from the microphone.
Yeah, our very first game was 52-0.
Yeah, y'all been living it up this season so far, and
We
y'all
cooked
go
up
keep
the-
going. I believe it.
We cooked up the Giants pretty good though.
We've been cooking so far, and I feel like we're gonna keep cooking. We just gotta maintain health. That's literally been the key
Yeah.
to this season is maintaining health.
Injury
Like,
on
we
our
have
team has been crazy.
we have been able to maintain and do good and run our schemes and run our plays the way we need to, but it's just making sure that our players are at full strength, and that's really been the key problem.
And even with the amount of people that you guys have out, it just shows how much work you guys are putting into what you do, because you're still doing good and you're still
guys.
winning. So it shows that you guys are like actually working. You know?
The coaching staff's really
Yeah.
coming in clutch, absolutely, and everybody's putting in a
the
lot of
Because
effort.
if it were
Excitement.
to affect you, if that many people were gone, then you wouldn't be able to. Why are you doing what you're doing?
Exactly.
You know, like
Exactly.
The excitement from the coaches during the games, the past 2 games, is just it's dope.
Yo, and
Yeah.
that's another thing that I love about the Vikings, because we didn't always have that excitement from our coaches and our coaching staff. It wasn't until recently when we got our head coach, Kevin O'Connell, who used to be the offensive coordinator for the Rams the year that they won the Super Bowl. The year after they won the Super Bowl, he came over and became our head coach. And then I think we also changed our defensive coach or our head coordinator for our defense.
Yeah.
And ever since those changes have happened and the players we've got and all the changes we've made, everybody just has a new level of excitement when playing, and it just makes it so much worth it.
Speaking of excitement, I love that Matthew McConaughey goes to every single Texas
Oh man,
Longhorns game. and
he's
is
there every
always
day.
Fucking
Every
there.
single one of every game day, he's there. I
He's
love
even
him.
there at practices. I love it so fucking much.
All right, all right, all
All
right.
right, all right, all right.
Hey, love that,
Longhorns,
man.
baby.
Love that, man. Well, football season's going great. It's been a
Yeah.
fun time, but we did have a good time last night after we got done hanging out in here for a little bit. We ended up going back inside and we ended up doing a movie night for a little bit, but we also played a few board games on
We
top
got
of
our
that.
asses kicked.
Man,
In
Yesterday
every
was the day
game.
that I found out that if we're gonna sit down and have a movie night where you guys are getting me to watch a movie that you really want me to see, we cannot play board games while we do that.
no, not at
Nah,
all.
because when you're playing life,
Yeah.
you kind of need to pay attention a little bit. I
Apparently,
did it.
apparently, if it's not real life, I'm always succeeding, bitch. if it's not real life, apparently I do well.
The fact that you got fired twice, the second time you had a doctor, you put your card back, shuffled him, and then you got your doctor one back.
Bro, I am him. I literally just embodied being Doctor Strange and just let it all happen. I
And
just
then
let
had
it all come to
all
me. It
the
was
damn
great.
money.
It was great. It was a great time. And that was like only like my third or fourth time ever playing the board game
Wild.
Life. And it was like a weird version too, because you
It
had
was-
like
it was
the
the
pets
pets one,
version.
yeah.
Yeah. Which it didn't really add too much
wife-
crazy to it, but
the
it did
wife
add
likes
like
her
another
dogs.
deck of
I
cards.
think really what it takes over is the babies, because you definitely have more options in the normal one to
Yeah.
get babies than that. So I wonder
You also,
if that's what it took
at
over.
the end of the game, you gain money for having kids. Don't know how the fuck that works.
Yeah, because that's
thought
what I
you
asked.
lost
That's what I
money.
asked. I was like, I thought you lost money based on how many kids
I was
you had at
reading
the end of the game.
instructions, because none of us had kids the whole game.
So we
No.
wanted
But,
kids is
so,
what
yeah,
we should have
yeah.
done.
So like to kind of speak on it a little bit, I did have a dope ass moment where like
I can't
the
stand you.
board. So the way the board was going around, which like you'll have to probably look up the pets board, or we could throw it up on the screen right there. And on the board, you'll see that there's a spot where they have like a children's section where it stops and you can split in two different
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
paths.
Yeah.
And there's one where there's like absolutely no kids at all, and it includes a payday. So when you pass a payday, you get your salary, but if you land on a payday, you get your salary plus 100K.
Yeah.
So it's like a really dope spot to go to. But
Yeah.
then on the other path, it's literally 0 paydays. It's 3 spots for just one baby, 1 spot for twins, 1
Twins,
spot for a
yeah.
house, and then 1 spot for a spin to win. And then there's 2 blank action spots. One at the very beginning after the stop sign, and then one at the very end where another stop sign happens, where you have to then spin to see if you have kids or
Still
not.
can't believe it.
And dog, I clutched the fuck up because everybody's like, why would you ruin what you got going? And I'm sitting here thinking like real life. I'm like, yo, dog, I'm a doctor. I have like no care in the world. I have the most money. I have the most cards that will get me 100K at the end of the game. Like so far, I'm living great. I have no reason to take this risk, but I'm a risk taker. I like that. I like the feel of living on the edge. And so I went down that path. I was saying, I'm gonna see how good my pullout game is. I'm gonna see how good it is,
was
dog.
strong. Your pullout
And
game was
boy, my pullout game is
said,
strong
boy.
as fuck, yo. I went and I rolled a 1 right after the first stop sign, landed on the first action space, and then managed to roll a 9 the next turn and skip all of
everything.
it, go to the next stop sign. And when you had to roll on that next stop sign, it was the first 3 numbers. If you rolled a 1 through a 3, you had no kids. It was 2 through 5 was like 1 kid, and then 5 through 8 or like 5 through 7 was like, or 6 through 8 or whatever was like 2 kids, and then so on and so forth. I managed to roll a fucking 2 and just get through all that with no kids. I tell you,
Wild.
pull out game is
So
pull out
at
game is
that
strong.
point, you should have just went the other route because you at least would have got a payday.
Hey,
But
Wild.
it
By
is
the
what
end
is.
of it, it didn't really matter because I was the only one with like 11K, and everybody was sitting around with like, or not 11K, but 11 mil, and everybody was sitting around with like 2 and 1.
Yeah.
So I mean, my numbers weren't adding up at the end, and I thought I had 111 mil. That was not the case. But by the end of it, we tallied it up. I definitely still had 11 mil. I definitely still won. The strange doctor is in the house.
Scott had to roll all by himself at the end.
Yeah.
He was so far behind.
I kept getting like 2s and 3s like the whole game.
The very beginning of the game,
and then
he could
I spent
not
like
move.
6 turns by myself
We
because
all
everybody else was
won,
done.
and he's just sitting there, and I'm just holding it for him. Just
We're all
waiting.
vaping. We're all vaping, looking at him go through life.
It's great.
Life
It was a good time.
Life was fucking rough last night.
Life-
And then
hey, life
Tapple
was
got
great.
my ass whooped, bro.
Oh man, I am just.
That'd be a really good game with little intoxication
Whoops.
going on.
Yeah. Somebody did. Was that you who brought that up last
Yeah.
night?
Yeah.
Being a little intoxicated might make that a little bit more interesting, which I mean, it would.
So if you don't know what Tapple is, we'll throw the box up right here.
Yep.
Bam.
It's pretty. I'm not throwing it up again. Well, nope. Not happening. Not happening. If you want that edit, suck a Frank.
You
It's
just
not
gotta
happening.
Tapple 4 times. But the way the game works is a big old hand button right in the middle. Start it. It starts a 10-second timer. When it's your turn, there's a bunch of letters, missing like 5 or 6
I was
of
saying,
them.
I'm mad that they don't have the whole alphabet on
Yeah,
there.
they skipped a couple because there's not very many words that come with it. But the one for like at the beach, U for umbrella, there's no U.
Yeah, I was
So you
thinking the
gotta-
same thing. I'm like, damn, there ain't no letter for that.
Yes, but you tap the letter and say the word that starts with that's in that category or whatever. And you hit the button, go again. And then you run the whole fucking board until all the letters are gone. Then you go into overtime. And it's just, if you go through all of them again, it's overtime again. But we never got to the 3-1.
No, the
Well, we did once,
We
but somebody was
did.
just like, I can't think of anything.
I think
we
we
got
did
one.
it twice, yeah.
triple overtime was weird. By the time that you got to triple overtime, it was just like
It only
everybody
ever
was just like, like, dude, you just want it, like, because you get through like 2 answers, and by the time you try to figure out the third one, you're just like, and then you're just like, I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I can't figure
the
it
only
out.
time we got to it twice, and I'm pretty sure we started with girl names the first time.
No,
and
it was
then on
boy
the-
names the first
Boy
time.
names.
Well,
boy
yeah,
names
so-
the first
yeah,
time
boy
Yeah,
because
we
names.
slammed through those
so
too.
like those were the 2 easiest ones by far were the
Girl
boy and
names and
girl
boy
names
names, yeah.
because like we were just
Yeah.
David, Adam, Michael, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Like it was just
Yeah.
so easy.
Yeah.
We were blowing through it, and then we got to the double round, and everybody kept forgetting to press 2. Everybody just kept forgetting to press 2.
Every time we hit double overtime.
But it was a fun one though. It was a good old fun
was
time.
fun.
We'll definitely have to get some of those on the pod here soon. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe.
It's
maybe,
on the
maybe.
to-do list.
Maybe. Yeah.
He missed his
Maybe.
face.
We
Maybe.
can't decide if we want a camera up here or a camera over there.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll get something going. We'll get something going. We'll figure it out.
Why?
But while we were also kind of playing those, before we started watching the movie, we were watching a bunch of old throwback TV commercials. I found
Yep.
I found a YouTube page that posted compilations of old throwback TV commercials, and it was really cool because it was kind of felt like we were all back in like the 2000s where we were kind of all sitting around in a bedroom playing a board game, and we're not really paying attention to the TV, but we hear bullshit in the
Yeah.
background, and that was the bullshit. Was always the commercials, and it was just really cool.
Waking up in the middle of the night to them singing them songs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I
The
sing it
greatest-
for you, but one I can't sing it too.
That was
copyright.
one of those. That was one of them
Yeah.
that popped up last night. Was the old CD sets, the old classic collections.
Those
I
were
love
great.
those. I love those. Like, what was like some of your most rememberable ones? Like,
Oh no, that one.
Just that
Absolutely.
one?
I vividly remember waking up in the middle of the night
Yeah.
to that just screaming
oh
in the
yeah, by
background.
all means. I think everybody kind of has that installed in their memory. But was
Yeah.
there like any like infomercials like with the infamous Billy Mays? Like any of his commercials? May he
remember
may he
those.
rest in peace.
I think I remember.
May he rest in
couple of
peace,
them.
Billy Mays.
I remember those. That's hilarious.
I love some of the newer ones too. Like, not gonna lie, there are some more recent ones that I
Yeah.
love, like fucking Flex Tape.
I love those.
I
Those are
love the
great.
Flex Tape
I've
I
never
have
infomercial.
some of that at home
Flex
right now.
Tape's actually real
yeah.
shit. Like, I don't give a damn what you say. Like, that's some real
Because
shit.
they have like the spray and everything, but I have like the actual roll of tape, and instead of it being like the normal width of a duct tape roll, it's like this
yeah, that
fucking
shit's
long, bro.
that shit's crazy. That shit's crazy, but it works. It's nice shit.
It's
it's
sticky
nice
as
shit.
Fuck.
I know there was another
He
one.
do be plugging holes in the middle
When
of a
you-
boat. He'll dunk into the water, plug a hole.
Trying to cut it with scissors, my God, it's rough.
Oh yeah.
That shit
You
is
gotta cut
thick
it with
and
like a razor
sticky.
blade or something.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's tough. Like you almost got to pull out like an actual
Yeah,
like box
the
cutter
adhesive
or
on the
knife to
bottom of
actually
it
cut
is
that shit sometimes.
wild.
Like
That's how the tape is for waterproofing. For
kudos
the shower.
to you if you could actually rip that by hand, because like I know there's some savage man out
You
there who could
struggle
be
with
like,
duct tape. Come on.
I mean, I don't struggle with duct tape. It's just a matter of how I rip it sometimes. No.
he be ripping it weird as a motherfucker.
Okay, so here's my thing. Just now, recently, stopped becoming a nail biter. This is the first full year that I haven't bitten my nails. I haven't been able to use my nails as like proper like cutting, sliding, like none of that. I've just had nubs. And so when it comes to when it comes to
Nubs.
doing that type of shit and actually like whipping duct tape, that's just not easy for me when you don't have fingernails because I'm trying to get grip on something and it's just basically
I need to show you
bending
how I
and
rip
molding.
because I don't use my. I don't
And then
use my fingernails.
I also started to figure out the form. If I hold it a little bit closer, I can get like a real tight pull on it and rip it at the same.
Yeah.
Like I know how to rip shit, Scott.
You
Don't
struggle.
act like because you just have a
you
whole bunch of
struggling.
useless tools that you don't use and you put
I
shit up on
use
walls.
almost every tool in this bitch.
This man puts shits up on walls, builds walls, fucking has his own lawnmower, all this other shit. He think that just because I can't rip some duct tape,
Oh, so
I'm-
you fancy, huh?
Right, you think you
Oh, so
could- 'cause you can do
fancy,
some
huh?
manly ass
I'm a handy
shit.
motherfucker. What do you want from me?
Man, I can rip tape. I can
He is a
rip
handy
tape.
motherfucker, though. I ain't even gonna
Motherfucker, I
lie.
can rip tape on
He
down my
wired up my
string.
basement and all kinds of shit from my attic, from the basement
Man.
all the way up.
I got my string.
I got
man.
a lot of. I guess I can't even say useless because I've used this shit all the time. I got a lot of knowledge from my mom remodeling her house when I was a kid.
Smart as fuck.
And I didn't
Little
go to
stray
school for none
cat.
of this shit. I was just sitting there watching them motherfuckers when they was doing my mom's stuff.
Man,
I was
watched
like-
one episode of Bob the Builder and said, "I want to be that."
I do remember watching that. I do remember watching that when I was a kid,
I
but I
want
definitely
that
don't remember when like
lifestyle.
I think I want to build a building.
Can Scott build it? Yes, he can.
Yeah, he can.
I'm my weakness. I have two weaknesses: drywall, mudding, and sanding, and all the finish work for that, and carpet. I can't stretch carpet to save my life. I can't do it. I will pay somebody else to do drywall and carpet. I will never do it.
Fuck it.
Hell no.
I could tear some carpet up.
Another thing that the
can't
next time I
stand
do
your
it,
ass.
shut
I
up.
hate you.
Shut up.
My
The
fault.
next,
Put
the-
your tongue in
nah,
your
I drew.
the-
I drew.
Another thing that I will 100% pay somebody to do if I ever have to do it again is moving.
Yeah,
Somebody else is moving my
at
That
this
shit.
point
shit
in
is
life-
ass, bro.
At this point in life,
I
like,
got
for
too
real,
much shit, bro.
Like I got a stipulation
Somebody
for
else do it.
moving. You either got to pay me or feed me. I'm not helping you move without those
The
stipulations
worst
being met.
move
Really.
I had, I'm like, you want liquor? You want food? What
Like
do you want?
you've got to pay me in some way, shape, or form because this moving ain't free. Just
Nah,
like
that-
getting
that-
car
nah.
rides, cash, grass, or ass. Nobody
The
rides
one-
free.
The one that I hated the most is when I lived in Bloomington. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment underneath 4 other ones.
Yeah.
And our sub pump failed, so it flooded the apartment.
Oh,
we
fuck
had to
that.
move from one, so it was like townhouses, so they were all in a circle. And we had to move from one to another, and moving your shit across the parking lot is so much worse than moving your shit like across town. You know, because you can get everything into the truck and be done. Here I
Yeah.
am fucking, I'm like, God damn it, my apartment flooded. I got to move all this stupid ass shit across the parking lot because they didn't want to pay to fix anything. I was like,
Oh my
fuck all
God.
that.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Couldn't be me.
The worst.
Couldn't be me.
Is there, speaking of old commercials, is there any items from old infomercials that you felt like you really wanted those?
Snuggies, bro, and I got one.
Oh man.
You actually got us. I got a knockoff
Oh,
Snuggie
I
once.
got a Snuggie.
I remember getting a knockoff one.
Oh
Them
man.
bitches-
It was an
I have
ad scene
one
on
at my
TV
house
aisle,
right
and
now.
it was not a Snuggie.
The one that I have now is like one of the ones that they make now. It's not, you know, because
Blanket
they make
hoodies?
Snuggies everywhere. It's a hot Cheeto Snuggie. My little arms, I be running around in it.
So Brittany's got a blanket hoodie.
Those are fucking
yeah.
dope.
Oh
They're-
yeah.
they go
my-
down to like knee, all the way down to her
And they
knees.
have
they're-
giant pockets
they're
in them.
huge.
Hell yeah. My mom's got one of those, but it's Viking themed and it's lined with
Yeah.
fur on the inside. And my little sister, she wears it like my youngest sister,
Yeah.
she wears it around the house all the time, and it's like covers her entirely. So it's like one big
Yeah.
like poncho on her. It's great.
She's young.
But there was one item as a kid that I seen, and I begged my mom for it for so long, and I thought it would turn me into an artist. There were 2 of them. There was I don't remember the specific name of it, but it was like these sticks with like the little pieces of foam on them that were like cut into specific shapes, and you would dip them into paint and like rub them on the paper. You could do like lines of rainbow strips or whatever it was called. If I'm trying to paint the image in your head a little bit to make the commercial pop up a little more.
One of the ones I showed you, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it was that because it was always cool. I always seen like these kids like dipping in like the rainbow paint and like smearing on paper. It was like the most perfect like rainbow line, and I was like, I need that.
It's because I think there was two of them. There was one where you could dip it in water and it would change colors on the
yes,
paper.
change the
and
color
then
of the
there was
paper.
another one that had rollers with all of the colors. And
Yes,
you
there
would
was that
roll
one
it
too.
on there, yeah, and you could do it like that.
Yep. And then the other one was it was kind of like a binder almost, or like a trapper keeper style like thing where like, you had paper in it, but in the middle of it was two like slightly transparent pieces of plastic. And what you would do is you would put one picture of something, like if you had like an image, like say like a picture from a coloring book, and you'd put that on it would sit up, so it would stand up like this, like a V shape in the middle, and it'd be two transparent pieces of plastic, and you'd put a piece of paper on this side and have the image reflect onto the other side. And because it was transparent, you would look through that image and trace it on the paper so that you would have that hand-drawn version of that image on paper. So like if you wanted like a photo of your family, you could use that image.
There's a name for it.
It had a name for it. I can't remember what it was called. But my mom actually bought it for me. I had it. It fucking sucked. It was terrible. It didn't teach me shit. It literally got tossed in the closet with shit that I would never play with ever.
It's the same thing that some tattoo artists have. It literally is just a transparent like board that has a lot of light that shines through it, and then they'll slip the.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I legit
I'm
keep
trying
blowing
to
that
find
shit
what
right
it
at y'all.
is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But they use it for whenever somebody wants a very specific image. Well, they used to back in the day. Before now, they've got machines that can just put the image through and it'll just like copy that onto a stencil
Instantly. Yeah.
But they put their page in there for the image they want to copy, and because the
say, if
people
you
would
can't
want a
find
little
it,
bit
it's
of
no worry.
lettering to it, and then they take their thin fucking light ass transparency paper and lay it over and fucking trace off of that and literally just copy the image over and do any alterations to that main image because they didn't have shit like Photoshop to that extent back in the day.
Oh yeah.
So I remember
a lot
I
of
used to sit
tattoo
in-
artists still draw their own stuff like that too.
A lot of them, yeah.
I do have another topic I want to bring up, but before I move on, I do want to ask you guys if you guys had any items that you guys saw in infomercials that you probably wanted, or any ones that we saw last night that maybe like jogged your memory.
She just said Snuggies.
Well, the Snuggies.
Harigami.
How about you? Oh, really? Wow. Oh, we also saw the one for Bump It's last night too, and y'all went crazy for the Bump It one. I ain't seen an infomercial for Bump It's in a while.
Jesus fucking
I saw
Christ.
that, and we saw that. We were like,
I'm glad
wow,
that looked died.
That shit was
Me too,
terrible.
honestly.
That shit looked terrible. We rewatched that infomercial. We were like,
Make
that
your
shit looked
head
terrible.
look so big.
Like, bro, it made you look like the old 70s like attack from Mars girl, where she's like standing there in the apron. She had like the big like yellow like lemon head, lemon drop head. Yeah, that's what it made it look like.
I said mine was fuck. Me and my mom used to watch the Food Channel a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I always got trapped in the food ones. Mine was the slap chop.
Oh man.
I don't even fuck with onions. I want to chop some onions.
Oh man,
Like, so
yeah, that
bad.
shit, and especially for a kid with ADHD, that shit, that
I
button
had
in the
one of those,
chopping, and
too.
it's oh man,
So
oh
that
man.
one and the other one's kind of boring as shit. But I the collectible coin section of the commercial.
Oh yeah,
At like
no,
two, at like 2 in the morning, and they're going through all the get this collectible
Right.
coin, you get this one for free. And I was like,
I loved the
like, Mom,
I
Mom.
loved the spiritual.
that one's got an eagle on it, Mom.
I loved the spiritual, like the spiritual mountain water. I don't know if you ever seen those ones where it's
Yes.
like the glacial water will heal all of your essence and purify your aura. Call now and receive a second bottle for free by paying multiple installments. And it's just like, what does it even do?
I can't even make
Just
fun
water.
of you for the coin one because I remember when there used to be one where you had like where they would give you a map of the United States and you could put
I had one of
quarters
those
in every
too.
single
Yeah.
one. And
I had one of
wanted
those too.
one so bad.
And then I got
Yeah.
fed up with it and said,
Yeah.
give me this motherfucking money back, bitch. I'm going to buy a game.
My mom used to.
That was
have
when I
a
wanted to
bunch
get
of
my
those
GameCube,
books.
and my mom
I wanted
denied
one
me.
of those.
If you want to know that story about the GameCube, go to the last episode. But yeah, that's when I literally bopped those fucking quarters out to put them in the baggie to go get the damn
Yeah.
game. That was literally like what I added on at the very end. I was like, man, I fucked this.
He's
There
like,
was-
let me just
right, I was
close the mind now.
Yeah,
And then there were some that I couldn't even get out.
Some of them were.
Some of them were just
That
wedged in there. I was
cardboard-
like, done.
That cardboard was tight.
That
Right.
shit was strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to do those, and then sometimes magically she'd be missing like 30 states, and I'm like, I don't know what happened.
Man. But
But this bag of hot Cheetos, don't look at it.
but we had so like to
Dick.
kind of like branch off of that a little bit with like the quarter talk. Like we also kind of talked about it last night too because all the old school shit jogged my memory a lot. And it reminded me of like school a little bit. Like in a way, because there were certain things we would see that would remind me of school, whether it be like clothes commercials or something like that. And it made me remember about like we had every Friday we had a special thing at school. And every Friday they would roll around a popcorn cart and they would come to each class. And if you had a quarter, 25 cents, you could buy bags of popcorn. And that was kind of like a popularity status thing too, because like who had the most popcorn? What kid had all the bags? Who had the money? Who was Mr. Big Stacks? And walked in like, had $1, came in with 4 bags of popcorn. Hey, he big pimping. Don't let me come in with 2. Boy, it's over. But did y'all have anything in like school like that y'all like some special staples? 'Cause I know you kind of brought up something last night that me and Scott were both like, fuck. Like, what the hell? It was like,
Oh yeah, your
My Spanish
teacher.
class.
yeah.
Where we used to do churros all the time, and they bring in like all the sauces and everything for us. You could have caramel, chocolate, marshmallow
That's
fluff,
fucking
all kinds of shit, bro.
crazy.
My Spanish class was dope.
Bro, my Spanish
We
just
used to
taught me
get-
numbers and letters. We
we
ain't
used
get
to
no
get
fucking
15
churros.
minutes.
We
man.
didn't get nothing crazy.
Depending on how good we did that week, she used to let us have like 15-minute, like where she'd shut off all the lights and let everybody like put their head on the desk, and if you could nap for 15 minutes, nap or do whatever you wanted as long as it was quiet.
Oh man, what about you, big dog? Did they have any like? Do you have
So
anything that you remember?
We had a popcorn-esque thing, kind of like you did.
Yeah.
But we didn't have to pay for it, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, I
It
mean,
was
hey,
every Friday.
school
It was
apparently
every,
they was
it was
just
every
running
Friday.
my pockets.
It was every Friday.
Run me my money.
My
Right. Deboing me for some popcorn is
swear to God.
crazy.
it was only my sixth grade. It was Miss Smith.
Shout out.
Shout out to her. The popcorn was delicious. But if we got done,
Man.
in fact, if we got done with our last assignment towards the end of the day every Friday, she had a popcorn machine in the classroom, and she'd make
Okay.
us all popcorn. She had to be student, whoever the fuck volunteered, got to run around and gave everybody paper towels to put their popcorn on, and then
Man.
she'd run around and give us all popcorn.
Oh, she'd give you like the little plastic cup shake of popcorn. Like she'd get like a little scoop of like the little clear plastic cup
Yeah,
that you
and
get
then
from the
just
water
come
fountain and
over
just come
and-
over and dump it on.
Yeah, just come
I remember
over
those type of
and-
days when she thought that you had to portion shit out, and I'd be like, that should give me more.
Yeah.
You
The
get
fuck
it
is
free,
this?
you gotta pay for
I gotta
it.
pay
you
for
get
it.
small
But the thing
It was
is,
at
you
that
got a
point,
small
like-
portion. I got a full bag.
Yeah, but I bet you them teachers was taking that money and be like, all right, well, who's buying lunch for everybody today?
I mean, shit. They probably walked out with like $20. It was all paid in quarters. Like it's 20 bucks.
Well, you
so
said it was
bucks.
the whole school, though.
Yeah, so I mean, not every class is rolling around and everybody getting popcorn. It
Everyone's
was
like,
probably like
Here.
there was like some consistent kids. There were probably like 2 consistent kids that would get popcorn every Friday, and then there'd be like the random 2 or 3 that get added on that week, and I would be on the every other week type of deal. Because my mom wouldn't give me quarters every week, and she wouldn't have it on her. But then there'd be
like,
other
"No."
times where she'd be like, "Go check the cup holder in the car. Whatever quarters are there, you
Yeah.
can take them." And then that would be how it goes. But to kind of keep on that school subject, there was another thing that I remember in elementary school. We had a lot of like elementary school class games, like Heads Up, 7 Up, or Hangman and
Oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that. Like, what was y'all favorite from that? Because like
Heads
we
Up.
had to have done some. We weren't technologically advanced yet. It was either pop a VHS in, or we're playing some group game together, or group team building activity. So like, what was that for y'all? Or what one do y'all remember the most?
I used to do hangman in Spanish class. They'd have to do it with Spanish words
Fuck
in Spanish.
that.
You
Fuck
cheating, bitch.
that.
I swear to God, I know you
Bullshit.
was cheating the whole time. You know Spanish, so
My-
the whole time you're like, I got this.
My mama always used to tell me, because my mom's side of the family and everyone over, my oma, all that, all my aunts and uncles, we're all Mexican.
Okay.
So she used to tell me, if you ever get an F in Spanish class, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
That
'Cause
does
if you
seem
don't have
crazy.
me, you have your oma you can call and ask.
Yeah. That's like an American mom or dad going up to the kid and be like, "You better not fail in English, bitch. You speak it. You better not fail in
That is
English
such-
class."
that is such a-
It's such a different
that
broad,
is- that
such
is-
a
that-
different statement. But parents do that
I
dumbass
know,
shit
but
though.
that's such a bullshit thing to say to your kids for English class, because English class is so much more than
It's so
just
different.
speaking English.
So is Spanish class. Spanish class has got all the conjugations, we, he, she, her, all. They'd be fucking me up in that damn class.
Shout out 7, bro.
I swear to God.
I ain't got one today.
No, he ain't got one of
Oh,
those.
yeah,
He's a
so
lame.
Hey, man, in
whenever you
Spanish
said
class.
whenever you said he was going to go and get coffee, I was like, you know what? I'm waking up today. I don't really think I need one.
I just get it because I like the way they fuck with me.
Yeah.
They fuck with me heavy. They like the
You go there so
podcast.
damn
Yo,
much,
shout
you
out
was
to
a
the 7
regular.
Brew crew. I know that y'all was talking to me this morning. Shout out to the 7 Brew crew. Whoever followed on the podcast, we fuck with y'all heavy. You know you see me every other
I
day.
do be going in there at least.
I go to the one in Mount Zion, so
That one's been open for not even like a month or two yet, and I've
Yeah.
already gotten 2 free coffees with how much I've gone there.
say less.
Bro, like I love
Well,
them.
me and Brittany go to that one,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we use the same rewards. So whoever gets to the free coffee first,
I'm convinced.
gets that free coffee.
So I have a theory with this too, because like when you bring coffee to me, sometimes it's not done the way that it's supposed to be. We won't get like our extra caramel, or it just won't feel the
because
same
I don't
way.
go there as much as you.
And so here's my
I ain't got to your level.
No, here's my theory though. I think that they do know who you are, but they also have recognized that you show up with your wife, and so they automatically rule you out, and they're like, hey, he's cute, being me. Hey. And
Stupid.
I think that they just suit me up because they just fuck with me, and they know that Jim Marriott is like, we're not gonna fuck with him like that. We get him whatever. He can get whatever the fuck we give him. He'll be straight.
You do
but
realize that some women don't give a fuck, right?
some women don't give a fuck, but there might be a guy back there who fucks with me, so you can't say that. Yeah, whatever.
There's a
Yeah,
couple gay
whatever.
women
Yeah,
there.
I know that there's a few out there, and so what? I'm not swinging that way, but I like the the positivity thrown my way. I love the appreciation for who I
entertain it a
am.
little bit.
I do not. Do not sit here and say that. I will go on record and say I do not entertain anything of that sort, not even the slightest. I will take all the positivity and I will take all the compliments. I do not swing that way, and I will not entertain that shit. Do not throw that in my direction.
There's a little hair.
Do
Just
not throw
flying
that.
around.
I have no problem with people that swing a certain type of way. If everybody does their own thing, everybody has their own thing. I am straight. I am secure with my masculinity. I am cool with y'all giving me the compliments and telling me that I have a nice smile or whatever it may be. But don't try to pursue
You
me.
ain't toxic. is
Don't
that?
try to pursue me. Do not do that, please.
Fair enough.
Do not do that.
Do not do that, please. I
Did
can be
you-
friends with y'all, but do not pursue me like that.
Did
please.
you have one from school that you were talking about?
He
Mine was the hangman in Spanish class. What did you say it was? Yours?
Well, no, we played a lot of heads up 7-Up, and I was peeking like a motherfucker.
Oh,
You look
man,
at
that
people's
was-
shoes,
bro, you-
looking at people's shoes, you're like,
yeah,
My
don't
head
show up in
stayed
the Raggedy
down, but-
Jordans today.
yeah,
Yeah, don't show up in
You
the Raggedy
guys like
Jordans. I'm
this,
gonna remember.
under your
Yeah.
I'd slide back a little bit on the desk
Yeah.
so that my eyes could see
just
the
be on
person
your
walking
forehead
past me.
would
Like,
be there.
you touched my thumb. I know. it was
Right, I
you.
knows you. I had, so like it wasn't. I obviously did Hangman and Heads Up 7-Up. I obviously did those two. Those are like classroom staples from the
Oh,
early
yeah.
days. But there was one that I remember very, very, very early on in my elementary school days, and I had I can't remember her name, but she was a much older teacher, and this was like first grade, I think like first grade, second grade, and as a class, we loved this shit. But she would come through, and she would like jokingly be like I can't remember what her husband's name was, but she'd always be like, he bought an extra can of shaving cream today. And like she'd come by and like put a little bit of shaving cream on our desktops because we had like those like marble what was like stone-esque like desktops. Or no, they were the real clear coated like wooden desks.
Yeah, they were just.
Oh,
They were
yeah,
the
yeah,
real
yeah,
clear
yeah.
coated
Like
wooden
they
desks with
put
like the
way
metal
too much
with
clear
the
coat.
metal the metal cubby underneath it, and it was so clear coated that she would just put the little like a dollop, probably about like as big as my device here, about like up to here, of just whipped cream on your desk, and you just fucking play with it. You just fucking write your name on the desk or like scoop it up and make like a little like thing with it, and we would just play with it. And it wasn't like kids weren't eating it or nothing, but that was just like something she would do. Like at the end of the day, if we didn't have anything or she didn't have anything planned, she'd be like, last 10 minutes of the day, here, do this. And then she would give us like a paper towel, and it was just easy cleanup because it's just like, and then she'd bring the garbage can over, and we just throw it away.
There was like 40 layers of clear coat on them desks.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
It
So
got
there
to the
wasn't
point where
shit there.
sometimes it was so damn thick you could like pick at it with your fingernail.
And there would
Yeah.
still be clear coat
Yeah.
underneath it. You would have like a little scrape divot there to show you how thick it is. But yeah, no, that.
How much I wish I had a school desk for me to be able to crack my back the way I used to.
Oh man,
them chairs.
man. Some of those naps, man, be the best naps of your life. You regret some never being able to sleep that way again.
Them
I
chairs
tell
are
ya.
probably why I have back problems because I used to be able to pop my back so good. Now I
I
can't.
swear to God.
Oh man, it is a bit of a struggle, that
Damn.
back problem.
Did you have any like things that you did when you were bored, just sitting at the desk, just some fidget, something that you did, anything at all?
Whenever I got into dance, the first dance thing that I learned was hand tutting, and I saw it from a buddy named Dominic. And hand tutting is essentially just like doing like stuff like that and like making like little angles and everything and doing like little finger waves and stuff like that. And I was so into it, teachers were getting pissed at me because I would be in the middle of the class just sitting there just doing some bullshit and just making shit up on the fly, just figuring out how I'm going to make it look super cool. And they're like, Albert, I'm trying to teach a class that I could see you out of the corner of my eye doing that. I need you to stop. And it happens so often, but that was and plus I have ADHD, so it was like it was a big like stimming thing for me because I had something to move with, and it was so little and so small that like I didn't feel like it made a difference to the people around me because nobody was really paying attention to me. But when the teacher's standing up front and everybody else is sitting still, and I'm the only one over there throwing up Naruto signs and shit like that. She's like, "Hey, stop. And I'm like, all right.
No, I was always open my notebook, and I'd sit there with the pencil and just write a line back and forth. Just if you do it enough times, eventually it rips through that piece of paper and then just starts the next one. And I'd go through like half the notebook with just a single line.
Oh my gosh.
Just bored out of my fucking mind.
Man, I guess. Yeah, I wasn't like that though. I mean, like I was also like the one of the pencil tapping kids.
I did that a little bit until my mom
kids.
got mad about me breaking the lead in every fucking pencil that I had.
You had to get the mechanical pencils. Those were the ones.
So
when
whenever
really
mechanical
upgraded.
pencils first popped off, that was my thing where you thought you was the shit because you walked in with a bunch of popcorn.
Mechanical pencils.
No, I walk in with a whole shitload. 'Cause my mom would go to Staples whenever you could get a pack of 5 for a nickel back in the day.
Man.
Yeah, can't do that no more.
Pack of mechanical pencils for $3 is like $7 off
I
rip.
swear to God.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
now.
Yeah, now.
But Staples
back
used,
then
used
it
to
was
have
like
deals.
$2.50. Back then it was like $2.50 for a 5-pack. That was crazy.
Well, shit, no, I swear my mom used to go there with her. She used
Like if you just got like the regular Bic ones, then
Yeah.
yeah, they were like 50 cents for like a 4 or 5-pack of them. But
Yeah.
then like if you got like the ones that came with like the little grip,
The
it was like a little
Papermate.
bit thicker. It had like a really
It's Papermate.
yeah the thick eraser that was kind of like built into it. It wasn't like the little top plastic piece where the eraser sat in it. It was like
Yeah.
inside of it and it looked like a pen. You
Yeah.
had one of them. The only time that I ever seen those though was the real high class girls who really fucked with their shit and made their shit always have like all their little I know it's you. All their accessories had to be all like matchy, cutesy, but also had to be real nice and over the top because it was like purses to them.
Or like the eraser toppers, and I'm like, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
you can't
Oh,
erase
man.
with that. You gotta pop that off just
I
to
used
erase
to
the
have,
shit.
to be even more bougie, the pens that you could erase.
Oh, you're terrible. You're terrible. You had ink erasing pens? Oh, you're fucking terrible. I would have
It
saw
never
you.
fully erased it, so it's just
You always
ended
have
up
gum on you,
looking
too?
like shit.
You seem like the one who always had gum on you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd have been the girl. I'd have been like, hey, give
Gum
me a
and hot
piece.
Cheetos.
you
You'd have been the
you
girl.
had-
You'd have easily been the girl every day. I'd have been like, hey, I know you got it.
Gum, hot Cheetos. My mom used to go to Sam's Club and buy me big ass packs of gum because she knew I used to give them out to everybody. It's gum, hot Cheetos, and the expensive pencils and pens.
I used to
You
hustle.
had-
I
you
had,
had
the,
that-
I had the colorful gel pens too, so whenever I'd be writing stuff, I could
Be
write
like
my
little
name
glittery
in
and
colors.
shit.
Yeah.
Your teacher hated your work. Your teacher was like, fuck, this
Hey,
shit gives me fucking headaches,
I
dog. Like,
almost-
it's correct,
I
but
graduated my senior year with almost a 4.0 GPA.
because they got tired of looking at that shit after the first 2 lines, they just said,
Bitch.
give her a fucking
I
A
don't
to
give
get
a
her out of
fuck.
here. I said, I'm getting tired of looking at all this
I
glitter
don't
and
give a-
shit.
Hey, look, I got my
They,
fair
like,
share of
open-
insight.
They like get to her test after they looking at like all these tests with like black ink on it, and they get to hers and like the light hits and it's just like, ah, God, ah, fuck, ah,
Wakey!
my eyes, like,
Shit. Did y'all have the pen that had like 8 colors on it? You try to
yeah,
Yes,
the color
bro.
change.
try to
pen,
push all of them out.
Try
at
to
the
get
same
them all
time.
at once. You couldn't
Yeah.
get them. They'd all get like clogged right at the
Yeah.
end.
And
And
then
you're
you
like,
end up breaking it every time. I used to get it
Yeah.
for the book fair.
oh man, fuck the Scholastic Book Fair. Fuck that little ass fucking van with all the books that used to come by that I could never fucking afford. That shit pissed me off.
The one that used to come around, for us it was called the book bus.
We did ours in the library.
Bro, I
Oh,
seen
no, it was the bookmobile. That's what
the
we called it.
bookmobile. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like a little bus. It was a little,
Yeah,
the little
it used
short
to come
bus. That
from-
had like
it
a
used to
little, it
come
had
from-
like an island in the middle of it too, like a kitchen island that had books
Yeah.
on it and shit.
The-
It was
the-
crazy.
The
work.
library used to bring books from the library to the school.
Yeah.
To the school, you'd rent them there and then return them.
It would
school
it would
return
come by
them
like
back to the
every it would come by
library.
like every
I
2 or
was gonna
3
say, our
weeks. It wasn't
Scholastic
like an all the
book
time
fair
thing.
Was in our
We had
library.
that. We had an actual.
We had that in
book
the
fair.
library,
that
too,
happened
and
in
that
like
shit
a common
still-
area. When, on
Still
the
couldn't
entryway
afford
and shit.
that. We were still
they
poor.
give you the little book with all the cool shit that you
I
could
know.
buy.
I would circle
showed-
everything and just hand it to my mom. And be like, which one can I get?
and then she give me like $3, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
I swear to
I
God.
can get a single book.
Yeah.
So
And then the kid sitting next to me, he's got all the fancy little erasers and shit, and I'm like, man, fuck you.
did y'all have those? We'll do one more topic on school real quick, and then we'll move on to another one of them. But did y'all have any of those? Did y'all have any of those like stipulation things where it was like, if you read this many books or this many hours, you'll go on a field trip with the class to Six Flags or something like that?
Yeah, you
did
had
y'all
to,
have any of
you
those?
had to read the books and then go to the computer lab and take a test on it.
Well, that was AR
was-
reading.
that was
like
AR reading,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
AR reading. But I'm talking about
Yeah.
like I know that
That
there
was
was
for
like
extra credit, I
there.
think.
Yeah, that was like a part of your reading grade.
used to do
remember
that all the time,
yeah.
yeah.
But I'm more speaking on like when you did like maybe like the sales, like bake sales or whatever. Like they would have like, if you sold this amount, you would be put into like a pool to go into like go to like a field trip to like the planetarium with a certain amount of kids or something. Like you would have something like that.
I
Did y'all
don't-
have
Our
that?
school never had that.
I don't think it was to like that. Like
My
my
school never had
science,
that.
my science class used to do trips, but my Spanish class, I don't remember if it was either based on our grades or if it was just a field trip that we would do with our Spanish class and we'd have to pay for it. But we
Right.
would always go to Six Flags.
Okay, so like on that note though, I had back when I went to Auburn Elementary, terrible fucking time. I like literally one of the worst times of my childhood. I would never recommend anybody to relive that part of my life. If you do get reincarnated as me, try to avoid that part as all as possible. But that there was a point in that time because I after a while I told these motherfuckers I don't fucking care, so I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I can. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Y'all, I don't care. And they had one of those like reading things where you had to read a certain amount of hours and you had to log it. And if you logged a certain amount of hours reading in and it made sense, like it would make sense based on the book that you were reading that these hours would accumulate, then if you had totaled like 100 hours or 150 hours of reading over like a course of like a month or two, then you got to go on a field trip to Six Flags. And motherfucker, I lied so hard. But the thing was, is I was a dumbass kid because how I lied was on books that definitely were not as long as I was trying
I've
to lie.
definitely taken AR tests for people, and I've definitely had people take AR tests for me.
I always took bullshit AR tests on books that didn't need me to read them, that were
Man.
based off of movies or had movies based on them.
I didn't even think about doing that.
Doing
Man,
AR
not a
tests for
bad.
the kids.
No, having people do them for me. I didn't read shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't read shit.
But I read the fuck out of books, though. I loved reading books.
Yeah.
When I had to do the
I was
AR
never
reading
on
was
that
at
one.
when I had to do the AR test, it was at Auburn, and I didn't give a fuck no more because I didn't care about them kids. Like
The-
they didn't
I
give a
was
fuck
gonna say,
about me.
the only
It was one
other
of those
thing
small town school
I can
deals.
think of that my school did, so it's Mount Zion, so it's going to sound real bougie. But at the end of the year, if your parents wanted
Mount
to pay
Zion's bougie.
for it, you could go on a trip, and they would take you to like Greece or Italy
yeah,
or
yeah.
Spain
Yeah,
or
Cody went to Paris.
yeah. And those motherfuckers were expensive. I never got to
Well,
go.
he
I
went
wanted to
there
go so
for-
bad, but
He went there for show choir. Cody went to Paris for show choir.
I never went out of the
Oh, yeah. I think
country for
Brittany
show
missed
choir.
out on that trip.
Yeah, I never went out of the country for show choir. We always just did stuff.
Hell
Brittany-
yeah.
Brittany
Yes.
has she did show choir at the Grand Ole Opry though,
Nice.
so she's done that. That's cool.
Yeah, I did show choir from my junior year, or from my 7th grade year, I think, all the way up until like my sophomore year. And then even when I
wow.
was younger, my mom used to pay for voice lessons and shit. So I went through the whole fucking 9 yards of that shit.
Shit.
Hell
Also,
yeah.
shout out to my parents because I just now, as an adult, realized how expensive it is to keep your kids in show choir, to keep your kids
Yeah.
in sports,
Oh my
to keep
God.
your kids in band. So they had to pay for my show choir, my outfits. My sister was in band. My brother was in football.
Oh, that's a lot of equipment. That is bro. It is, and it's not cheap neither. Even when it came down to hand-me-down shit, if you wanted something that was of decent quality, that was even like used like from Played Again Sports or something, shit's still like
And my-
$50-something bucks per
Yeah.
item. Like
my
you're
brother
not.
was
It's
lucky
not cheap.
because he was phenomenal at football. Like
Yeah.
he was always
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the best people on the team, no matter what. Like there would even be times during Mount Zion games where they would be like, this many points to this team and this many points to Deaton because they just use his last name instead of our football team name. Because it was always him, and man, his coaches loved him, and they would always give him, like, my parents obviously paid for shit, but they would give him, like, the best shit. They'd give him cleats, they'd give him football, just all kinds of shit. He had so many good opportunities with Mount Zion in football.
Is there like any like See, I didn't really get into sports.
I went
But
to my brother's games.
is there any like talents that you don't have right now that you think that you'd really want?
I wish I could play an instrument because I can sing and I can draw.
Okay. What instrument specifically, if you had like any
Yeah.
specific
I
one?
always wanted to play the violin.
Violin
Like
is solid.
there's like straight like orchestra style violin or like ones that
Would
have
you
all
like
the
be like a
tech bit- tech-
freestylist?
like the tech steps
No,
and shit.
just like a orchestra bit. Like, so I always see videos of people that like there's a guy that plays the piano in the airport, and he'll
yeah.
be playing certain songs, and people
People
will
will
come
play
in
with
with
them,
cellos
yeah.
and
I get
violins.
I get trapped in them
and
videos.
the violins are just so beautiful to me. And I did try and learn guitar. I can't. My fingers are not long enough. I can't play guitar. But I always wanted to learn
I
how to
want
play
Justin to teach
violin.
me. I want Justin to teach me how to play guitar so damn bad.
I also have a guitar. I need to learn how to play.
I almost convinced my grandma to buy me a violin.
Oh yeah.
She also tried to get me in piano classes. I ain't about that shit.
So I was in the orchestra in elementary school. I played the cello.
My sister played the
I was
cello.
fucking awful at it.
She
but
was really good at
I
the
did.
trumpet.
I used it as an excuse to get out of class, to be honest with you.
I bullshitted around on kids' drums that we met back when I lived in Auburn. I had a buddy named Eli, and he had a kid that he went to church with. And I was hanging out at Eli's house that one day, and they had planned on going over to his house that night, so they just invited me along for the ride. The kid was souped up, though, because he lived out in one of those nice-ass, like, two-story country houses that had, like, nobody
Yeah.
around them, and the parents worked a factory job. Like,
Yeah.
both worked factory jobs, so, like, they had
They
just...
had money.
They just were just... And he was an only child, so they were just
Oh,
throwing stuff
fucking
at him.
right.
He was just getting everything. And when I mean, like... It's like fresh, like we're fresh into like actual flat screen era, not like flat screen box TVs. We're fresh in like actual like flat screen 720p.
And he had 'em,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
That one.
he just like he had one of those. Those were brand new to me. He had a room where like the ceiling was like he was on the second floor, but like the ceiling was removed, so like the whole like roof was like they had like put wall
they
up
had
on
money,
the roof,
money,
and they had like made his whole room big. He had like banners up on his walls and shit. Had a drum set in his bedroom. And I was like, that's crazy work. Never played a drum set, though. He was like, hey, man, go ahead. If you want to, I don't care. I don't ever use that damn thing. And I was like, but what about your parents downstairs? Like, they're going to get mad that all the noise is going on? He's like, dude, they bought it for me and put it up here. They expect that. Like, that's what they expect from me. And I was like, that's a crazy mindset for a kid at all.
What
But
bougie
like,
ass
My
friends
mama
you got?
beat my ass.
it's not even my friend. It was Eli's friend from
Oh,
church.
okay.
Like,
Like-
it wasn't a kid that I knew. He went to our
like-
school at one point, but it was a kid that he knew through the church that we went to at that time from Auburn. And I didn't even know him. It was my first time meeting him. I didn't even know that he went to church with us. But Eli was like, yeah, he
Right.
goes. He goes. I just never seen him.
Shit, so he was that kid that anytime he had a thought of a new hobby, the parents was
Parents
like,
were like, yeah,
I
have
got
it.
Go
Do
ahead.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck, must be nice.
Loved
I
that.
swear to God.
I always was like, man, I wish I could be like that. Because that's
I'd
how like
get
my
one
cousin
thing,
Damien
I'd
was
stop
kind
doing
of
it,
like
she'd
that a
get
little
mad.
bit.
I do that as an adult.
My cousin Damien's a hardworking dude, but his early years, his parents definitely had good paying jobs where he really didn't have to worry about a whole lot. That's like kind of why he was like my childhood rival a little bit. Like, I know we all kind of have that a little bit, whether or
Yeah.
not they know it or not. You had like a rival growing up where you're like, I just
See,
got
I
to do
was the-
better than that
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I was
Like, I don't
the
got to be better than any
firstborn.
of you except for you.
I was the firstborn, so I
Oh,
got
I
a lot of
definitely
what
had
I
one.
wanted. If it wasn't for my parents, it was from my oma.
Oh yeah. But no, like Damien was like that because he was always the kid who had all the cool shit that I wanted. Like I'd see it on TV and then I'd go to his house that weekend and he would just magically
there.
have it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. Like it was always like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Like Yu-Gi-Oh cards was the
I had
worst one
so
for me.
many of those.
He had like I did too. But apparently all the packs I bought were the worst fucking packs ever
had
because he
so
had
many.
everything.
Yeah, that was
Black
be- that
Luster
was
Soldier,
before.
you got
I had-
it.
I mean,
Summon Skull, he
fucking
got it.
stacks
All
and
Blue Eyes,
stacks.
Ultimate, everything, he got it. Like he even had the Egyptian God cards at one point when they were being freshly printed,
Yeah.
and I went, "You're a liar. That's not real. That's a fake." But on top of Yu-Gi-Oh, though, it was also Pokemon. Pokemon was a problem, and kind of
I
go
had a
into
book
that.
for all mine.
Let's kind of go into that, which also shout out to the new poster. Shout out to the new poster, and then also shout out to that new poster. We got that guy going there. Bang, we're getting more
That
added
one's
on.
probably a placeholder until we get a Longhorn.
Hey, and who knows? She might follow up with the team enough after today to keep it over there. Who knows? But we do have a staple of the show that we do talk about, and it does involve this wonderful thing behind me that I just talked about, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
We have what we like to do. We call the Pokemon guessing game.
All this game is me trying to redeem myself.
Man, this man Scott has gotten
You're
one
one still in
shadow point. He
parentheses.
has got a shadow point.
I've got a shadow point because the episode didn't air, but I
It's
got the damn point.
Man, it's hey man.
And it was yours that I guessed.
It's
Hey, man.
8-2 and
Credit where
kinda
credit's due,
one.
damn it.
Yeah, boy.
It's still in parentheses.
Yeah.
though.
This.
Man. Let's see if he can
Are we gonna
redeem
hit you with
himself
Gen 5?
this time. It is going to absolutely be the Genetha 5.
The Genetha 5. I already have mine, so
Yeah,
It
we
is,
already all
uh,
picked ours.
You guys already picked
We were gonna
yours.
hit it with you with
I picked mine
hit
yesterday.
you with it. We were going to hit you with it the last episode, but we ran out of time.
We did run out of time, but it's fine. It's okay. We will make do with what we got. Anybody want to be the first go at this?
I got you.
You
Bring
got
on,
it.
Bring it on.
You got it. Okay, so we get to kind of explain it a little bit real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and just go over the rules, just quick, fast.
Yeah.
So the way that we play this game is we have a total of 2 guesses or 2 questions. You can either ask a question pertaining to the Pokemon or try to narrow down your answers, or you can just give out a flat out answer if you think you know what Pokemon it is off rip, because we have had that happen before, believe it or not, where right off rip, got it. And it happens. I mean, who knows? You might be able to look at the person and just tell what Pokemon they are vibing with. But that's a real simple game. All it is just guessing. That's all it is. So without further ado, let's get into this bad boy. Gen 5. What
you're
is
going first?
Scott? Scott is the first person. He has the first
is
You were
Pokemon.
guessing mine.
Is it Exadrill?
No, sorry. That Pokemon didn't even ring a bell.
Oh man.
It's the second one for Drillbur.
I got you. No, it's definitely not that one. I'm
man.
gonna make sure I look at the right gen this time.
Let's see here.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
Ooh,
I
sorry
picked
for
the Pokemon out of the
adjustment.
right gen. It's just
Let's see here.
I want to make sure when I go to pick y'all's, I'm in the right
Sometimes
spot.
mine loads up and it pops down to another one. I'm like, oh, stop, please.
Is it? What one did you say?
The second one for Drillbur.
Oh, okay.
Exadrill.
No. Is it Samurott?
No, it is not.
Okay.
What's a guess? It's not just gonna completely give it away. There's 2 of them. There's 3. There's 3 of them.
3 evolutions?
Yes, it is a full set of 3.
Is it Palpitoad?
It is not.
It's got 3. It's got 3. It's got 3.
Ow, you fucker.
Huh?
I said, ow.
Oh.
I'm gonna fight you.
It's your guess, buddy.
I
Come on.
know. I'm trying to think. Like, give me a second, yo. Like, fuck. It was a Pokemon guessing that game, not Rush Owl out of his fucking bullshit.
No,
Is it
not Rush
Haxorus?
Owl.
It's
It's
Rush
the
Hour.
amount of
Is
times
it
you said
Haxorus?
it's
No,
3.
no, it's not.
God.
It's got 2 types. It's got 2 types.
3 has got 2
Is
types.
it? What did you say? Sorry.
Haxorus. And it wouldn't even matter because it's
it-
not a 2 type.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Venipede?
No,
it is not.
No, it definitely wouldn't be Venipede. He ain't no Venipede type of guy. It's got
There's
2
a lot of
types.
Pokemon in Gen 5.
Yeah.
There are a lot more than I thought there were. It's got 3. It's got 2 types. Is it a starter?
It is not. No, it is not
Okay.
a starter. Let me see how close. It's in the higher numbers.
Okay. We're moving. We're
if I
figuring
scroll
something out. I
past
think I know what
5.
it is. Is it
Is it A?
Hydreigon?
It is not.
Ooh. It was a guess. I threw it out there. It was a 2 type. It was.
He said, ooh.
Because honestly, it's high numbers. It's got 2 types.
What did you say it was?
It was Hydreigon, Dragon and Dark
Oh, yeah,
type.
yeah.
It was that. It has 3 types, and I was thinking it was that, but
Well, and it could be in that still.
it fit all the categories. Yeah, I mean, it might not be.
Is it Dino? However you say it.
No, it is not. One of the types is fire.
One of the types is fire. Higher number.
Is it Litwick?
It is not. No.
God damn it.
Higher numbers. One of the types is fire,
Damn, that really.
and it's got 3.
Yeah.
Now, does it have 3 forms, or does it have 3 evolutions?
It's 3. Just 3 evolutions.
3
It's
evolutions.
got its original and then 2 evolutions. So
Okay,
3.
okay.
Set of
okay.
3.
I just wanted to clarify just to make sure because you said 3 forms earlier, and then I was trying to remember what you said, and that's what stuck with me, and I'm like,
Now, I only ever talk about the forms if the forms are absolutely necessary to me to not just give it away. I feel like I definitely just gave it away, though.
it's got to be one of these though. Like it's got to be one.
I
of
said
these.
Litwick.
Yeah, is it Chandelure?
It is Chandelure.
Motherfucker.
Okay, I was about to say
You were
like,
close.
That's the one I
gotta
was
be-
gonna
You were
guess.
close.
Yeah,
I was
think
gonna
it's
guess
got to
that
be
one.
one of these 3 because
Yeah.
if we're talking high numbers, there's nothing else here with fire.
Yeah.
So
when I said it, one of the types was fire, I was like, damn, I just gave it away. I totally
throw
just
it
gave
up.
away.
What's the number count again? Kiana, go ahead and give me like a point at each one
I
of
got
us. So
9 for you. I got 1 in parentheses for you, and I got 2.
okay, so we'll throw those up
This is
above each other. We'll throw
disrespectful.
that up above each other. So go ahead and say your number 9.
1.
2.
Cool.
I ain't saying
Awesome.
parentheses.
That'll be
That's
the tally.
disrespectful.
We'll try to keep that as the tally. Like help that
We'll put his in parentheses
throughout the game so
still.
people can kind of keep up with it. So who wants next? You want next, Kiana, or do you want me to go?
I'll go.
All right, let's go ahead and see what we can get on Kiana's end.
Is it Gothita?
Nope.
All right, that's a great. That's honestly a really good one. Is it Zoroark?
Nope.
Oh,
It's got 2 types.
two of them things.
Oh, where did it go? I was just looking at it.
I swear to God.
Nope, that's only 1. 2 types, huh? 2 types. What we got going on here? This list is long as a bitch.
2 types, huh? 2 types.
I'm just
Whimsicott.
trying to make sure it's not.
What'd you say?
Whimsicott.
No.
2 types. The 2 type
Ooh,
part is what's
I
fucking
think
me
I
up.
might know if you don't get it. I think I might know.
Well, I know it's not normal.
I think I might know.
Shit.
Maybe.
There was a specific Pokemon in here that I was wanting to guess, and it's slipping my
Ooh,
mind right
maybe
now.
not. Maybe not. It really all depends on what she says for her next hint.
Oh,
Because
man.
I think I might. Well, I smacked the microphone. Sorry.
Is it a legendary?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty positive.
It's just in case.
Oh,
gotta
yeah,
give
so
a
I
hint.
guess it's got 2 evolutions.
2 evolutions. 2 evolutions, 2 types, right?
Yes.
So there's only 2 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just confirm.
As far as
Evolutions and forms are different. That's just the only
Yeah.
clarification I wanted to make sure. Because you said
evolutions.
forms, and I was like, forms
No,
are
I know
different.
what I know
Yeah,
what
because
forms
are
are.
different. Because legendaries have forms. It's
That's
like
like
Rotom
Galarian
and
and
all the
yeah,
other.
yeah,
them.
no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Is it
2
Bisharp?
Nope.
2 types, 2 evolutions. See, and that's a tough one too because a lot of this.
There's a lot
A
of
lot
twos.
of 2 evolutions in this generation. Oop, my shit zoomed in. I don't want to see that. That's just a bunch of number stats. So that ain't gonna help me with shit.
Damn, there's a lot of
Is
this.
it higher numbers or lower numbers?
Lower numbers.
Lower numbers. All right. So now we need another hint as well.
It's in between from the start to 5:30.
In between the start of 5:30.
Is it Ducklet?
No.
Scott, you gotta get it, man. You gotta get
I'm
it.
trying, man.
Gotta get it. Because you better hope I don't. Oh, man. Ooh, I almost guessed one of those, but they don't have 2 types. Okay, let me see what we got. 2 types, 2 evolutions. It's got to be one of these. Woobat?
Yeah.
Yeah! I'm too good, man. I'm too good. 10, 1, 2. Hey! That's how you like to see it, baby. But Scott, you still have a chance. You still have a chance because you got to guess mine.
I'm at least trying to tie Keanna right now.
Man, you got a chance, man. You still got a chance.
Okay, so now we're doing you.
Yeah.
Yep, it is on me.
Is it a legendary?
No.
There's a lot of legendaries in this gen. That's the reason why I keep asking that
Yeah.
one.
Let's do. Is it Tortuga?
No. Higher numbers.
Jesus Christ, there's
I
so many.
swiped
on
too
here.
fast. I went all the way to Gen 6. Shit. Higher numbers, huh?
Higher numbers.
Golurk.
One more time?
Golurk.
No.
One more time.
It's the evolution of Golett.
I about to say I couldn't tell if you were talking or burping.
Is it? What's his name? Fracture.
No.
Okay.
It is one type.
One type.
Drudagon.
Scott got one,
Oh,
everybody.
shit.
It happened. Congratulations. Scott finally got one.
Look at
He
you
took
go.
us this
Look at
many
that.
episodes and we're finally
Oh,
Look at that.
shit.
And
Now I just
then,
gotta get above Keanna.
throw up the fucking
That's a
the
twofer.
PNG, throw up the
That's a
PNG
twofer.
confetti. Pew, pew,
I got
pew,
2
pew.
images.
Throw up the big number 1. Hey. And the one in parentheses. Hey.
That is a 2. That is a 2, damn it. There's
Nah,
2 there.
You got 9, or you got 10. You got
Nah.
1 and 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
Man, hell.
Y'all saw it. Just because they didn't see it doesn't mean that y'all didn't see it.
Doesn't
Hell.
count. Doesn't count.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so good.
You
It's
just don't want
so
to be
good.
tied with me.
Doesn't count.
Man, one of these times I tried looking to see if we could find a battle simulator for this because I had an idea that I wanted to take our Pokemon and our favorite picked Pokemon from each week so far and put them on a team and battle them out to see whose team
That'd
out
be
of the
dope.
hosts would be the strongest team so far. I just haven't been able to find a battle simulator. So like if you guys know of one, like if you know of a website where I could do that where it will run the basically the simulation for us to where it automatically battles out for both teams to where neither one of us have to affect the game. It could just run on its own and determine a winner. Please let me know because all of the ones that I found so far are basically just like versus other people across the world. And I don't want to
Yeah.
play online. I just want us to be able to build our teams and then be like, battle it out. And I mean, I don't know, even if we got to load up just Pokemon fucking Stadium and put them on teams and then have
Right.
the computer do it themselves, like one way or another, I just want to do that in one facet or shape or form because I feel like
Right.
it'd be really cool.
So, speaking of, because I wish Pokemon existed and maybe sometime in the future, sorry, there's a gnat, someone will create something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything from any movies or any TV shows you've seen that you wish existed now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Power Ranger Morphers. Easily. Power Ranger Morphers.
No hesitation.
Easily. I want to be a Power Ranger.
I wish that future cars, or like flying cars, were a thing, but I wish that the microwave from the Spy Kids, where
The
they
one
just
that just
pop
turned
it
it,
in
yes.
and food came out. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
She
I
opened
could
have
that drawer
McDonald's
and
on
she
rip.
had shit from all kinds of countries, and you can just pick whatever you
Bro,
want.
she just, like, pulled
pop
out a
it
whole
in
Big
there
Mac and
fucking
fries.
Bing! There's whatever you fucking want.
She literally just pressed a button and in
You
2 seconds a
fucking
Big Mac
kidding
and
me?
fries popped up on the tray. And
Are
I was
you
like, that's
kidding
and
me
it
right
looked like the
now?
most fire Big Mac ever too.
I swear to God, you can
Man.
put whatever you wanted in there. Just be
Yeah,
like,
the
I
shit-
want
that
something
shit-
from France. Bing!
That shit looked like it was straight from the commercial.
I swear to God.
It was so perfect and proper. What about you, Big Dog? Did you have any futuristic George Jetson Jefferson fucking
Iron Man's nanomite suit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where
That
it's
should
just
be
the
dope.
double tap and it just
It just like fucking forms. Yeah, that'd be sick. Who knows, man?
Or
The
like the
fucking
Black Panther, he's got
oh
that
yeah,
one
like
too.
the vibranium
Yeah.
suit with the
That
Black
one's
Panther
dope.
suit. That'd be fucking
Same.
sick.
Oh,
You just
It
think
goes
it
on-
and that part disappears. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that goes along the lines with the Power Ranger suit a little bit too, because
Yeah.
it does the same. It does the same thing depending on who you're morphing as in the Power Ranger series. Because
Right.
there's a lot of them. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, they all have different transformation sequences. But one of my favorite ones from Power Rangers, though, they weren't my favorite morpher by any chance. I'll have to talk about that one at a later day because I have to really think on which one is my favorite. Because I do plan on actually getting a morpher tattoo on my
Right.
wrist at some point, but it's determining
one?
which one. Like, that's the problem.
Ah,
is like
okay.
trying to figure out which one do I want. Like,
Right.
do I want to go with like a classic? Like, do I want to go with like Power Rangers in Space, which was like a huge staple of my childhood? Do I want to double up on morphers on the wrist and do the Zeo morphers that like line up like that? I feel like that could also be sick. But there's a lot of different ones that go into it. But the one that I always loved the most was Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, because it was the first Power Ranger series where the humans made the Power Ranger suits. It wasn't like given to you by some spaceman in
Yeah.
a tube, or you didn't pull a sword out of a stone. It was literally like the government made Power Rangers. We have to bring people in with special abilities in order to fill these suits out. And the way that they morphed was really cool is because they would be like, it was like light speed, rescue, and they would put their hands up, and then it was almost like a latex mold of their shield icon would come down and it would form over top of them and bring their suit, and then their helmet would come in and clasp together, and then they'd strike their pose, and I'm like, that's fucking sick. So I kind of feel with you with the microfiber joint, because I'm like, that shit would be, or the nanofiber, because I'm like, that shit would be sick. It's along the same thing. So yeah, Power Ranger morphers, nano suit, and then the microwave that just makes shit instantly. Sick.
That would be dope though.
Yes.
You just press a button, you got a 10-piece nugget. Come on.
I mean, hey man.
Just saying.
But we do got
night out drinking. You ain't got to worry about hitting McDonald's.
no. You
I
ain't gotta
swear
worry
to
about
God.
nothing. You ain't gotta worry about nothing.
I want some goddamn ramen. Boop.
Give me that chicken.
Give me a good old nice 90s throwback meal with that. Give me a nice little kid cuisine, give me something.
Kid cuisine, my
one of those
God.
shitty ass things.
Those were so bad for us.
They were terrible. But you know what wasn't bad
All
for
TV
us?
dinners.
You know what wasn't bad for us though? The Nintendo 64. In fact, it was probably one of the best things that could ever happen to us as kids.
Dead ass.
Genuinely. I don't think there's a much better example for entertainment in the early 90s other than what Nintendo had to offer, and the Nintendo 64 was one of the most premier things that they could have given us. And on top of that, we played a lot of it so much that we decided to make it this week's top 5, baby. Hey, we got our top 5 this week, and it is going to be the Nintendo 64 games. Anybody want to explain how the top 5 works at all?
We list our top 5 as our top 5.
Yes.
Not statistically proven. These are the number 5.
And
this
we
is
bully
the order
each
and
other
list.
for all of it.
Yeah.
This is a point for us to judge each other. Not you judge me. Shut up.
No, I'm a judge you.
No, we
And
don't.
they can judge
I'm
you.
talking about them.
Judge his ass in the comments. Judge his ass in the comments. So while you're at it, subscribe so they can get a mullet, and then you can judge him again when he gets that mullet.
I decided not to wear a hat today. Just
Yeah.
Sees Justin Bieber
see
hair.
that
Man.
I need a haircut. Help me out.
He got to pull off one of them motherfucking those. Get it out of his face.
I've done that once this episode so far, and I caught myself, and I was like, oh no, somebody's going to say
Justin
something.
Bieber.
Man. Oh,
The
man.
beebs.
I got that real light hair, so it just I can see the little phrase just right in front of my eyeballs now.
Oh,
It's kinda, it gets
man.
frustrating.
The Beebs.
Well, while you're on the talking point, big dog, why don't you go ahead and start us off with your top 5?
I got you.
Let's do it. Let's knock it
There,
out. my
I
man.
can almost guarantee there's going to be some overlap.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, there's
yeah.
gonna be some overlap here because we were talking about it the other day with the GameStop retro. Like we were talking
Yeah.
about some of
Yeah.
the N64 games and how they are like staples of our childhood. So I already know that there's gonna be a couple on here that we're gonna totally, because it's one of those things where like we might not agree with them in the placement on our list, but we could all agree that some of these belong on a list
Yeah.
no matter what. Like
So-
if you are going to consider yourself to make a list, some of these games have to be considered to be
Yeah.
on there for sure.
Since I didn't play a whole lot of video games, my list is definitely the popular ones.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a surprise if anything. Nothing's going to be like, wow, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. You got honorable mentions too on this one?
I do not. Honestly, picking
I
my
don't either.
5th one was a kind of a difficult.
Okay. Okay.
So Banjo-Kazooie is number 5 for me.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That is a really good one.
And
I almost
that
put
was
that
the
one
one
on
that's just like, I don't know what the fuck I put here.
I almost put that on mine too.
But Banjo-Kazooie is number 5 for mine.
I
I didn't
love
play a
Banjo-Kazooie.
whole lot of it, but I played enough of it.
It was
for
an
to
early.
make
It was one of the
list.
best times for the company Rare. That was
Yeah.
one of the best times for that company between Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, and then they also had Perfect Zero or Perfect Dark Zero or whatever it was called. Another N64 game that was kind of like Splinter Cell esque, but Rare was really in their bag when
Yeah.
it came to the Banjo Tooie and Banjo Kazooie games because like they were just very colorful, very very vibrant. It was easy to just pick up and kind of run around the worlds in
Yeah.
there. It was just a very overall fun game.
Yeah. And the first multiplayer game that I ever played, 007 GoldenEye.
GoldenEye, yeah. It's
Yeah.
that one. I mean, for real though, when it comes to if you're gonna statistically make an N64 list, that is one of the ones that's gonna for sure be on
Never
there.
played
Yeah.
it.
And see, and that's
It was,
fine,
like I
but
said,
it's
first multiplayer game I ever played.
and that's the reason. Like did you have a lot of friends that you played N64 with coming up? So that's the thing.
Yeah.
It was one of those games where it was like a party game almost. Like
Oh,
you
okay.
you played it like for yourself, but the majority of the time that you put in for GoldenEye was all in the multiplayer section.
Yeah.
That was where you like settled beefs and shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if you had a problem with somebody, you'd be like, all right, bro, come on, slappers, let's go. Just slappers, straight slappers, all day. No, don't pick odd job. You can't pick odd job. You pick odd job, you're a piece of shit.
Don't know what
All
any of this
slappers.
means.
Slappers is basically no guns, just karate chops.
Yeah.
And so you
Okay.
run around the whole map basically karate chopping each other, and you have to like, it's an N64 game, and it's one of the first few first-person N64 games that allow you to move like outside of
Right.
just like old Doom style or Wolfenstein
Yeah.
style where the gun's in the middle of the screen and you're just
Yeah.
it was one of the first ones where you could actually like aim yourself and you had to actually adjust your gun based on where people were at, if they were standing on a level or not. And
Yeah.
when you're doing the choppies, dog, like trying to line that shit up sometimes, you be yeah, and then all of a sudden they just come by and
That's the game.
And it's
that's
in a
gonna be
nutshell.
the game whenever the nephew talking shit about to beat me in COD or something like that. I'm about
yeah, load it up.
plug this shit
Had to
in.
whoop
Like,
their
I'm about
asses
to
in
whip
Mortal
your
Kombat,
ass.
bro.
Yep, load it up. Load it up.
And number 3 is Super Mario 64.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That was the game that I
the
steadily was
staple.
just trying to do all the fuck. I was trying to do all the glitches the whole time.
It's a
Yeah.
staple,
Like,
man.
damn.
It's
trying to hit that double backflip into the
Innovative.
picture frame, trying to get that.
Yeah.
that
oh
little cut.
yeah. There's a lot of things broken in that game.
If you didn't do a flip or do something to get into the level, you were boring.
You're playing
ass
it
kid.
wrong. Yeah, you're playing
it
wrong.
You gotta walk up to it, turn around, look at yourself, and then whoop, backflip into the
There was even some levels though where depending on where you jumped in at the frame would determine certain parts of the level. Because I remember there was a water level in the game, but it was very innovative. Because if you jumped into the painting,
the pirate ship is the picture
yeah,
frame?
and there was
Yeah.
if you jumped into it at a high, if you jumped into the picture at a high frame or a high portion of the frame, the water level would be high. But if you like jumped in and like jumped real low towards like the bottom of the picture frame, the water level would be real low, so you could access certain parts of the level that you couldn't swim to because you would lose breath and wouldn't have time to be down there. So it was
Yeah.
like that was they were very innovative with Mario 64 when it came out for sure. It was one of the big sellers.
And then number 2 is Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
It was the first game that got me into Pokemon.
Once again, if we got to load that shit up for the battle simulator, I'll by all means, because they got almost all the ones
So
we
we
would
might
want.
load that
I
shit up
swear to
someday
God.
just to play it.
Man, we might even be able to
So
find
Pokemon
a.
Stadium 2 was also in that.
Yeah. Oh
in-
yeah.
in the
They go
N64.
hand in hand. I'll
Yeah.
give you that.
But
They both came
first
out on the
one is-
N64,
yeah.
and they're both basically the same thing. Just one has a little more Pokemon and a couple different mini
so we
games.
didn't get.
You know?
I don't think we got another Pokemon game until the GameCube.
It
like,
was-
like
Sure
Pokemon
there was a
GX or some shit like that.
Stadium 2, wasn't there?
Well,
Yeah, on
he already
N64.
he
Oh,
said
okay,
Pokemon
okay,
Stadium
okay.
1 and 2.
Yeah. Outside of
thanks for paying
N64.
attention to us,
Sorry.
Kiana. You guys just tune us out.
Outside of N64,
Thanks for
Bite
being
you.
friends with me.
I'm pretty sure we didn't get
You
another.
know?
I'm pretty sure we didn't get another Pokemon game until the GameCube. I think it was Pokemon like GX or something like
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
Pokemon. It
even
was a
know.
story-based Pokemon
Yeah.
game. Yeah, we didn't follow Ash. It
Outside
followed a
of
different character.
handheld.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that. Outside of
yeah,
handheld,
yeah,
not
yeah.
like
It was one of the
Yeah.
one of the darker told ones because it was when you had like dark Pokemon and shit back.
Yeah.
Because like all the other guys when you go against a villain, they had like a black and gray version of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I remember the cover was Lugia was black and gray but had like red eyes and they had like the
Oh,
little
that's
like
cool.
beams coming from
I
the
don't
red
remember
eyes. And
that.
that was
It's
the-
old-
It
that's
was
old-
old school.
old school
It was
game.
it was
Yeah.
one of the earlier GameCube. Like they built it up to push it on the GameCube to kind of like demonstrate how much power the GameCube could push out with how little it was working with. And it was a cool game. It didn't really go super far. They didn't do a whole lot of those until much recently with like the Legends of Arceus games and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Because after that, they kind of went back to the formula where they would either do like a random one-off game here and there that was different from the original, or they would just give you like the ability to get the adapter and play Pokemon Emerald or Green or whatever the fuck on your GameCube
Right.
and
Yeah.
whatnot.
And then number 1 ain't no surprise at all. Is Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Majora's Mask does not make my list because I do not enjoy that game nearly as much as the rest of these.
Nope.
Mine
I
didn't,
understand.
it didn't make mine either.
Nope. Did not make mine either.
Nope.
You Majora's Mask stands can suck it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't have that game if Ocarina of Time did not exist.
Say
Yeah.
less. All right.
What you got, homie?
So I don't have any honorable mentions either. But my number 5 is Mario Kart 64.
Yeah, that's a great one. One of the
I
first
didn't
innovative
play
racing
that at
games.
all when I was a kid.
Really?
I played Mario Kart, but like on the Wii and the GameCube, but
Yeah.
I never played Mario Kart on the 64.
Yep.
I had it on Super Nintendo before I had it on N64.
Yeah, nah.
Super fun.
My
Super
number
fun.
4 is Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah.
Pro Skater 3. I saw that when I was
We were
scrolling through the
just
list.
listening to Superman, my golden finger earlier.
I love those games.
'Cause here I am.
I
fucking
got
much.
into them real heavy whenever they came out on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the
But
PlayStation
PlayStation
version.
2, yeah.
I oddly enough
was
had the Game Boy.
obsessed.
I had the Game Boy Advance version of that game, and God, is that hard?
God.
They
It's
made
so
a Game
hard.
Boy. It was I think it might have been a Game Boy Color, but they made a Game Boy game copy of the original Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah.
And I played the shit out of that. 'Cause
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
have a GameCube at the
I
time, or
fucking
any
loved
game system to play it
Any
on.
Tony Hawk games.
Oh
I
yeah.
love them so
Killer
much.
games. Killer
Yeah.
games. Fun for hours.
My number 3 is Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Donkey Kong. I loved it so much.
That game is fun to watch for speed running.
Yeah.
Like I'm huge into watching speed runs, and the N64 category for speed runs has so many broken games that like every
Yeah.
year the times get shorter and shorter because people find so much stuff with them. In the Donkey Kong one, there's like a video of a guy. The guy posted the history of the game being broken, so like how far it's come along for speedrunners and what
Yeah.
they've all found in the timeline for it. That game is so interesting when you see it broken down for what glitches were found, how people found them, how people like got good at doing them, and how that eventually would change the scope of how people play. Because it's like in the early times you would see like maybe an hour and 30-minute long run and it's like the world record, but then like a day later somebody's knocked 6 minutes off of that run by doing a
Right.
glitch, and then literally
Speedrunners are
that
crazy.
same day somebody
swear
will
to
find
God.
something else and they'll knock 4 more minutes off, and it's like. That game is so cool for that. I highly
Yeah.
recommend that for you guys to watch, especially because like I really feel like that's a cool sit down, and it's only like a 45-minute to an hour long episode. So like it's really something you just kind of kick back and just kind of get
Yeah.
lost in for a minute.
Yeah.
But super dope game.
Yeah, that's dope.
Super dope game.
My number 2 is Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
And
We matched on that one.
and my number 1 is
We matched
Legends of-
top
yeah.
2. We matched
Yeah.
top 2.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Wow.
It's got to be there.
That's a first. That's a first.
That's a
That's a
first.
first double match.
And
Yeah.
now we gotta see.
We've matched a couple of times on one, but yeah, we've never.
We
yeah.
matched number 1. So that's
we
first
gotta
number
see
1
if
match.
we get the
One and
trifecta
two,
now.
yep.
Let's see if we can get any
What you
matches
got,
on
homie?
this one. I love the N64. It is one of my favorites. I do have some odd ones on here though. So my honorable mention is going to be GoldenEye. GoldenEye is going to be
GoldenEye's
my
your
honorable
honorable
mention for me. I love GoldenEye. It wasn't something that I owned though, but it was one of those games like I only played it when I went over to my cousin's house.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something that I was really accustomed to growing up unless I was going over there. And even then it wasn't a guarantee we were going to play that every weekend because he
Right.
had Mario Party. He had some of the other games that are going to be on this list. So another one of those in my honorable mentions is going to be Banjo-Kazooie, which we already kind of touched base on that. It's not
Yeah.
really one of the big games for me, but once again, did love it. Very
Yeah.
vibrant, very colorful, and did hit a soft spot there for the N64. I got NFL Blitz 2000, sports game. Gotta love it.
Not surprised.
And then another one for me, Pokemon Puzzle League, which was a Pokemon game that was kind of in the form of like Tetris, but instead of it being like 4 block like line segments or whatever coming down, they were like colored blocks with 2 shapes on them, and you can determine how the shapes move if you want them to go like be on one side or the other. And if you lined them up with the color of the right block or whatever in a certain amount, it would like clear that line, and you'd be able to drop blocks on the other person.
What was it
and
called?
Pokemon Puzzle League. They had a N64 game and they had a Game Boy Color game, and I had both of them. Super dope, super dope. But my number 5 is going to be Pokemon Stadium. I do love Pokemon Stadium, both 1 and 2 a lot. I feel like they had to be there in one way, shape, or form because they definitely did kind of like shape how good or show how good Pokemon games could be
Yeah.
on a console that wasn't handheld.
Did Stadium
I
come
know
out
what game you're talking
before?
about now.
Did Stadium come out? Stadium had to have come out after like Red
It,
and
had,
Green.
it came out, yeah, it came out way after.
Okay.
After
yeah.
what?
Red and Green, Game Boy
Oh,
Color.
okay.
Yeah, I think it came out way after. Not way after, but it did come
Red
out
and green.
after.
It's
Huh?
not red and green. It's red and blue.
Red and blue, whatever. Red, blue, and yellow.
Yeah.
Whatever. Shut
green,
up.
Green was emerald. I don't know what the fuck I said green for.
Yeah.
The moment
Either
it came out, I was
way.
like, that's not right.
Either way, though, we did go ahead and get that. We got Ken Griffey's Slugfest, which was the first baseball game that I ever played, and so I kind of hold that near and
I
dear
was
to
like,
my
I don't know
heart.
what that is.
I knew there was NFL or football games on there. I didn't know there was.
Baseball, yeah.
games.
It was one of the
I think
first
there was a
baseball
golf on there,
games.
too. There was a Mario Golf.
There
I
was
think.
Mario Golf, yeah, and they had a couple Tiger Woods golf on there. That was like one of the first the first few times that Tiger Woods would get his time as like the cover art or the cover boy for PGA Tour. But it was really cool, really cool game. The next one for me, did I say Did I say GoldenEye was an honorable mention?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did say GoldenEye was an honorable mention. I didn't mean to put. I looked at that completely wrong. My dyslexia kicked in. It is not an honorable mention. It's number 3. Sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry.
What the fuck?
Sorry. It was number 3. My dyslexia kicked in hard. Number 3 for me is GoldenEye.
Damn it. I don't think I've matched one with you yet. Mine's number 4. Yeah.
The next one for me at number 2 is going to be Mario 64. It is. It is
Yeah.
the 64 game.
It's got to
Yeah.
be there.
It is the 64 game. Like when it comes to Nintendo consoles and they always selling shits, like Mario is one of those games that is going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
hand in hand with the console no matter what. Like even if the Mario game comes out months after the console
Yeah.
releases, people are still going to be like, I have to get this console and I have to have a Mario game to go with it. And
That's another one
64
I'd
was
like
that
to
one.
see a remaster on.
And give it better graphics, but make it run the same way that it used to.
Yeah.
I want it to still
Yeah,
run kind of
yeah.
shitty, but like look better.
It's like those are the kind of games where somebody remasters it, they try to take out all the glitches, and I'm like, the glitches are the fun part. Stop fucking,
Right.
Stop messing with it. Just leave the software the same. Just up the graphics.
And then, for the first time ever, we have our first 3-way tie for and it's the number 1 spot. Ocarina of Time is the number 1 in 64 game. We all agree. You could suck our dicks if you do not believe us. It's literally the game. It is the first RPG that sucked me
Put
into
up a
the
big,
game.
Big picture.
Yeah,
Here.
throw it up. Bang. Yeah, huge on Zelda. It's the first Zelda game that made me fall in love with what the Zelda series was. I knew that there were games that came out before it, but between the way the characters are portrayed in the game,
yeah.
the way the game is played, the way the game flows from starting out in the forest in your little tree house to going and transforming into a full-blown adult in the whole
that
world
first
around
sword
you.
pull whenever you turn
Yeah,
into the
dude.
adult
That was
Link.
the only reason I bought my Nintendo Switch.
Oh my God, yeah. And I mean, like, still to this day, you throw Zelda out there and the whole world goes ballistic
God,
because
yeah.
it's like,
Oh,
and
they're
they're
making a Lego set of the tree.
Oh, the Deku Tree. They
Yeah,
did do
yeah.
that. They did do that. I saw there was shout out to Peebs. It was a guy that I talked about last night, Peanut Butter Gamer. He actually went out and he had a local area or shop at his local
Yeah.
area that actually had those. And I seen him build it. It's fucking awesome. It's
Legos
super
already
fucking cool.
has my heart with
Oh,
everything it has now and Harry Potter, and now there's fucking Zelda shit.
Yeah.
Give me game 2. Keegan, you're wrong.
Oh.
It's better. Majora sucks.
Oh man.
He has a Majora's Mask hanging in his living
Oh
room.
man. I love it.
I don't know if he's
I
watching,
love
but
it.
you're wrong.
Oh, man, I love it. But it's a great game. It's fantastic. It has literally been a staple for a lot of gaming conversations for us, like genuinely. And we all have beautiful memories of it, whether it's sitting down playing it in the bedroom or just hearing the music and reminiscing on it because it had a very amazingly well done soundtrack. My cousin Damien actually had the soundtrack like CD, and we would play it in the background while we would play other games because it was so therapeutic to us that it was just it was an amazing noise. And even sometimes when I'm on the forklift, I'll put some video game music on, and it'll hit a point where it's just nothing but Ocarina of Time music, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I can
It's
get
a
done
vibe.
to this.
It's a
I can get
vibe.
some stuff done to this. But that was our top 5s. We do have one more thing that we are going to do before we wrap this bad boy up. And we have the staple that we like to call the Song of the Week, where we all basically recommend you guys a song to listen to. It could be an old song. It could be a new song. It could be rock. It could be rap. It could be electric. It could be country. It could be literally anything that we're feeling this week, but it is something that we could recommend you guys so that you have a little taste of what we like to listen to. And so maybe you guys can fill out your playlist a little bit more with something that you might like. And if you guys have any recommendations for us to listen to something that you might be listening to this week, definitely leave it down in the comment section below because we would love to hear what kind of music you guys are listening to. But do any of you guys got something you want to start us off with?
So Keanna started off last time, so I'll hit this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
For
I'll hit
sure.
This one. I got Forgotten by The Plot in You.
Oh, yeah, and we'll go ahead and throw that right up here up top to you so you guys know exactly what the album cover is and what the song is and who to look for when you go to Spotify as well. We might even make our own, like, Spotify playlist with the songs of the week that we've had over time just to
could.
kind of make, like once we get them done, throw them in the playlist so, like, you could have a one spot to kind of find it all so that you're not searching super hard. We might be able to do that for you guys in the future, too.
Public playlist so everybody just knows what we're talking
I
about.
could,
Yeah.
I could do
And
one of
for
those.
that
Oh,
for
yeah.
that song, that Plot in You song, you don't listen to a whole lot of heavy metal. Like
Not
to
really,
that
no. I
extent
mean, not
of
really.
what that is. But that was one of the songs that you heard and was just like, holy shit, that's really good. Because they hit
yeah.
that point in that song where it just goes completely silent on the instrumentals and it's just him
Oh, just straight pure vocals.
Just pure vocals
Yeah.
screaming his line, and you hear that part and it just kind of sinks you in.
Are they
yeah.
clean screams?
Yeah, it's clean screens.
Is this the song that I know?
Yeah, Forgotten.
Yeah,
By-
that's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah, I do know this one.
Yeah,
I
that
do
was
know
the
this
one that you were talking about last time. We were talking
Yeah,
about the
yeah,
genre
yeah. I had to
itself.
think about it because I was like, plotting you. Is this the same? Yeah, and then you talk about that
There's
part.
like one or two songs that you probably even enjoy by them, and that's the number one that you mentioned.
Yeah, and the reason why I love it so much is specifically for that part that you brought up, and it
Yeah.
was because I saw a TikTok of him doing it live, and they cut it out, and you could hear the crowd in the background, but they kind of like boosted his vocals a little bit, so you can kind of hear him a little bit more. And the dude, like when I listened to the song back, I was genuinely surprised how it sounded compared to the album and how it sounded live, because I'm a big stickler for music like that,
Yeah.
because I love old music when it comes to like 80s, 70s rock and stuff like that, because a lot of those guys had pure talent.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those guys, like fucking Freddie Mercury is one of the best singers of all time,
God,
and you
yeah.
can't change my mind
No.
because he literally by human design had one of the most perfect structures for singing vocals between his jawline, his teeth structure, his vocal cords in general. He literally is impossible to beat in certain extents when it comes to vocalizing. And
Yeah.
so it's like when I hear somebody who can get on a soundtrack, give me a sound, and then I go hear them live sound exactly like I heard them on the soundtrack, I love that shit.
Yeah.
I look for that shit because it's pure. There's no altering.
There are bands that I have went and seen will not go see again because they do not sound the
They
same.
don't sound good live. Yeah, I've
But they
seen
sound
that
good on
so
the
many
audio,
times.
so I'll still listen to it there. But I'm not.
Right.
I'm not gonna pay you money for you to sound completely different live on stage.
Exactly. I'm not gonna pay to hear the edit that you did not be added to what you're doing now.
Right.
It don't
That's
cost
not
me
what I'm
It
here
don't cost
for.
me nothing to stream you on YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm
but no,
sorry.
that Plot and You song, super fire. Definitely can vouch for that. Love that shit.
You went last time. Go up. You're good.
You want me to go
Yeah, you
next
went
this
last last
time.
time.
All right, so I got one. I'm kind of stuck on like a three-way tie with this one. It's same band, but it's depending on what song I really want to go to because I've been kind of bouncing between a lot of them. But the band is Ninja Sex Party, and they roll their eyes because
You have to have the taste for that genre of music.
You do.
It's comedy rock. It's literally comedy music. It's not meant to be taken in a serious note other than their cover albums. Like you just gotta, if you like Weird Al, if you like stuff like Weird Al, you'll fuck with this.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it comes down
Yeah.
to. They're both in the same genre. If you can get down with some Weird Al songs, if you like White and Nerdy, or you like the Yoda Saga, like if you like some of these other songs, or like
Forgot about
fucking
that
on
song.
Jeopardy, I love that one by Weird Al. If you like any of that, you're like Ninja Sex Party. But the song that I've been listening to a whole hell of a lot has been Welcome to My Parents' House. It's a great song. It's a goofy song, but it's basically about going out to the club, hitting it off with a chick, taking her back to the crib. By the time you get back to the crib, you got to let her know, hey, by the way, I live with my mom and dad. But don't be worried. Because it's lit in this bitch. We got free food. My grandma's dog's over here. He's a real sweetheart. Like, we go downstairs. I got the futon. We chilling. We're wine.
God.
And it's a great song. It's a great listen. It's got like a real, like kind of like funk, kind of like groove, like soul vibe to it when it comes in. But it is a really like a more upbeat song. And it's just real fun. I fuck with it. And I love the band. But like, if you can't get behind any of their stuff, I do recommend their covers, because they do covers of a lot of old 80s and 70s like rock music, because they're super big into that genre because that's what they grew up with as well. But they do have another cover album coming out here very, very soon. So if you do like what you hear from them, if you do like this song that I recommend, I highly recommend waiting and seeing what they have come for this cover album, because I've heard a couple of the songs that they said they're gonna sing. And I'm fucking excited because it's all shit that I listen to every day. Like, you guys know that my musical taste is well before my years of being born.
Yeah.
But all the shit that they sing on their cover albums is everything that I listen to naturally. And so when I love hearing it in his voice because he just does it so perfectly. So really, really love that band. Can't recommend them enough. But with that, I'll go ahead and pass the mic over to the girl. See what she got.
I have it's a remake, I guess.
Remaster, remake.
It's not like the original song. He does like a remix of it, I guess. It's William Singe, Wild Thoughts.
God, Williamson has got a voice.
Yeah, he's Australian, but when I'll have to show it to you after here. But he has his own songs, but he also does remixes of songs, and it's a remix of the Wild Thoughts with DJ Khaled and Rihanna and all of them. But it's really good, and his voice is. He started out on YouTube with.
He was on Australians Got Talent.
Yes, and then he was making.
Or it was
Was
like
this
X
a-
Factor or something.
Was this
like
one
that.
of the guys that you used to listen to when we lived together?
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah,
I used to listen to a lot of William Sims. He's got a really good voice.
Him that did his own stuff, and then he also had another guy who I can't remember his fucking name that
'Cause
they
I
used to make
think-
videos together.
I would say I think you showed him to me at one point. I might notice
I'll
it in
sh-
the
I'll
edit
show it
later.
to
I
you.
might
Alex
notice it in the
something.
edit later.
I can't remember what his
Damn it.
name is.
I'll see him in the edit later, and I'll be able to figure out who he is. So that's no worries. But
William Sims
yeah.
got a voice on him.
some people do, man. That's like a.
Alex Ayano.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what it
okay,
is.
okay.
Yeah,
That's-
he did a bunch
Yeah.
of songs with him. He also did a couple with Connor Maynard.
Yes,
Yeah,
his was really
yeah.
good too.
Connor's
yeah.
got a good voice. It's all the. I hate to put him in the category, but it's all the really good YouTube people.
Yeah.
Not you don't see him on the radio or anything.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
and like I said, he's got his own music too, which those are also really good. But
Yeah.
that's the one I was listening to on my way here earlier.
Hell yeah. I do also got like I'm going to throw a bonus song in there because you're talking about guys who could really sing really, really well. I love Giveon a lot. I don't know if you know who that
It
is.
sounds familiar.
He's the one who sang Heartbreak Anniversary. You've probably heard that song through like
Probably.
TikTok a lot, but the song that I want to recommend is Like I Want You by Giveon. Fire song. It's one of those like newer modern day like heartbreak R&B like type of shit, and I love R&B a lot because we seriously lost R&B over the course of years, like early 90s and 2000s R&B with
it's so much. It's way different. That genre
it's
is
gone,
categorized
but
way
that
different.
genre is still so beautiful to listen to because you could just get lost in it. Even if you don't know the music, the vibe of old school R&B is just there, and I feel
Yeah.
like some of these kids still want to keep that vibe going, but they're kind of getting overshadowed by a lot of the other music that's out there.
I miss
So I
old
like
school Usher.
yeah, or like
Sweat.
Teddy Pendergrass, or like what's the name who sings Never Too Much? Luther Vandross. Love Luther Vandross. Oh, I'm huge on Luther Vandross. But yeah, Giveon is gonna be like my little bonus that I'll throw up there while we got the topic of the nice ass singers. But
Yep.
with that being said, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to these guys to let them tell you some stuff to do at the end of this video.
Yep. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are still on our way to trying to get Justin Bieber over here to get a mullet. So make sure you share with your friends
God,
and your
I don't miss
family.
that.
Let everybody know so we can get to 1,000 and we can have our friend Katie come out and do it on camera for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Along with that, make sure to follow us on our TikTok, our Instagram, our
Yep.
Facebook. It's all at Beauty the Beards Podcast.
Yep, it's all there.
We're
We're trying to
working
get the
on
links.
getting the links, but the links are kind of difficult to do on
Yeah,
YouTube.
we're talking about trying to
We'll
get the
get
links
there.
through
Exactly.
YouTube. We're probably gonna end up doing like a link tree maybe. So just kind of be
Yeah.
on the lookout for that for sure. But I mean, with that being said, you guys, I can't really say much else because they knocked out all the key points that I needed to knock out. So I'll go ahead and just tell y'all we love you. We appreciate you for stopping by. We do hope that you come back for the next one. So like they said, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that bell so you know when that
Yep.
goes live. We do a premiere, and we try to do a premiere every Wednesday if we possibly can. So make sure that you tune in for that bad boy. But without anything else needing to be said,
Nope.
you guys have a great morning, afternoon, evening. I hope you sleep well. I hope your day goes great. We love you. And we'll see you on the next episode of Beauty and the Beards.
Peace out.
Later, y'all.
Peace.